Good day, everyone. So this will be the continuation of your topic, General Laboratory Guidelines and Protocols. So why I'm including this topic, the general guidelines for the collection, transport, and processing of specimen, because here in molecular biology and diagnostic, this three portion, the collection, transport, and processing of specimen is very crucial in obtaining your high quality data. Now, the goal of the activities that you will going to perform is to have the integrity of your data. It must be precise. Okay. Now, the part of your collection, for example, if you are collecting bloods, saliva, or other tissues, it must be collected using a sterile techniques and a proper container where you will going to put your samples in order to prevent the contaminations, degradations, or damages within your collection. Now, we have the different device that I will be showing to you, like your swabs, tubes, that will help you to determine the proper usage of each and every one of that container. Now, next is your transport. Why it is crucial din itong transport? Because some sort of your samples can involve into us like a lesser time to check. And for example, your DNA and RN base, it should involve the cooling or freezing. Now, if it is not in a proper transport package, it will degrade the enzymes like your nucleases. Now, this last is the processing of your specimen. This will be a careful process in order to have an exact or accurate data that you will be presenting to your um patient, or you present the data correctly. Now, if there are errors during your collection, transport, and processing, there will be an erroneous result that can fall into your wrong diagnosis. So you need to, or we need to adhere on the proper guidelines of the collection, transport, and processing of a specimen in order to receive or to ensure that the data that you have been giving is accurate and timely diagnosis. The topic under our uh, subtopics under our general topic is your introduction, the general guidelines for specimen collection, the transport, and the criteria for rejection of specimen. Now, your specimen collections and transport are critical consideration. Why? Because your specimen should be obtained to minimize the possibility of introducing contaminating microorganisms that are not involved in the infectious processes or in your molecular processes. Now, the general guidelines for specimen collection is it depends on the type of infection. You have the aseptic precautions, the anatomic sites and locations where you can get your samples, if it's adequate amount or volume na kukunin mo sa sample mo, the tissue or other body fluids over your swabs, and quality products that will be used in order to collect your samples, proper timing, as I have said in the introductions, and your clinical laboratory forms. I hope you know how to label your different containers as to whether or not you have the patients, or somehow they give you the idea on how to label your samples. Now, use transport media. So we have different transport media that will be discussed on the following slides. Now, proper handling and labeling and transportation. So it should be properly handling during the transport and label. Labeling is very important in this portion because some of the samples are limited to use. Okay. So use of proper containers, instruction to the patients, and before the administration of antibiotics. For example, your patient is um or has a flu or other infectious diseases. So you need to determine if your patient take any antibiotics prior to your collection because it somehow affect the accuracy of the result of your data. Somehow, the, for example, Streptococcus aureus, nag-take siya ngayon ng antibiotics for Streptococcus aureus. Now, na inhibit niya yung Streptococcus aureus, yun yung sakit niya. Then, ang na-check mo is Escherichia coli. So it differs now from the major microorganism present sa second na microorganism present. Now, the problem there is there will be now some of our bacteria now are multi-resistant. So meaning you cannot use the same antibiotics unless it is properly administered. Somehow of our patients or other people out there na minsan nagpapacheck, they take antibiotics or any medicines that prior to heal their sicknesses. So you need to check on those. So avoid contamination of specimens. So um, you need to have a sterile environment during the proper or the process of your collection of your sample. Now, some of our samples I have said is within 2 hours of collection. Containers should be leak-proof, separate sections for paper, special preservatives or holding media, and your biohazard label. I know your biohazard label. I know somehow I give that pictures to you or you check already on the given PDF that I have sent to you via G-Class. There are different labels there for your biohazard. So these are the criteria for rejection of your specimen. So several criteria can be considered by a laboratory on the basis of which the processing of specimen may it be done by the laboratory. So laboratory investigation of a samples are waste of time and resources if the following criteria are not fulfilled. Missing or inadequate identification. Now, this will be part of your labeling. Insufficient quantity. So if it's not or kulang yung kinuha mong samples and it takes a lot of processes. Minsan kasi ito yung mga reasons why hindi siya na-fulfilled yung gusto nating makita or gusto nating result. So dapat lahat ng samples na kino-collect natin is sufficient. Now, specimen collected in an appropriate containers. Now, for example, you have your for the uh, blood tubes. Tapos, stool container. Now, you are collecting stool and you're using blood tubes. May mga ganong instances. Or somehow, the urine samples and urine containers and the stool containers are almost the same. But it differs actually. So you need to check those containers that are used in order for you to have appropriate containers for your sample collections. And contamination suspected, somehow, sabi ko nga, you need to have a sterile environment. Inappropriate storage or transport. So somehow, um, yung cooling or freezing degrees during the transport, it helps or it degrades some of your samples. Sabi niya kanina, or your DNA or your RNA during the transport, kapag mga kulang yung cooling storage niya, it will degrade your nucleases, some sort of that. Now, we have your containers and swab for the collection of specimen. Now, for feces, we have here yung may tube, may spoon sa loob, your universal container, spoon attached to the inside of the screw cap. For sputum, squat-wide mounted disposable containers should be used. For urine, universal containers for small quantity. Now, this is your blood collection tubes that have different types of tests. Now, for your EDTA, we have your violet. The purpose is for this is for your routine hematology, for the process of your complete blood counts, blood smear, and blood typing. We have your light blue, your buffer, sodium citrate. We have your coagulation studies for prothrombin and your thromboplastin that helps your sodium citrate works by binding to the calcium to prevent blood clotting. Next is your red, which is a clot activator or no additives, which used for serum collections that is used for your chemistry, serology, and blood bank tests. Now, we have your gold or yellow. It's your clot activator and your gel separator that is used for serum separation to test your link panels, liver function test, and helps also your gel separators to separate serum from cell after centrifugation. Now, we have also your green, which is your heparin. It is used for plasma collection that your heparin prevents clotting, which inhibits the thrombin and other clotting factors to clot. Next is your gray, the potassium oxalate or your sodium chloride. This used for glucose and lactate tests as sodium fluoride prevents glycolysis and preserve glucose level in your blood. Now, your blood culture bottle, this must be at least large enough to hold 50 ml of rich liquid medium with which it is used from laboratory plus 510 ml of your patient blood. Now, this blood culture bottles is used for collecting blood samples for testing. Testing if you have bacterial and fungal or other infections on your bloodstream. So also, we have different types of this blood culture bottle. We have your aerobic and your anaerobic. So your aerobic blood cultures, this will detect your aerobic bacteria, and your aerobic blood culture bottles, it detects your anaerobic bacteria. Now, we have your typical colored bottle, as you have seen here. We have your yellow, which uses your aerobic blood culture bottles that designs the bacteria that requires oxygen for growth. Your red, which your anaerobic blood culture bottles, which are detecting bacteria that thrives with the absence of your oxygen. So there are different types of colored bottles that are seen here. For example, your yellow, which detect also your aerobic bacteria that also requires oxygen. Okay, so some sort they also we have also have fungal blood culture bottles, pediatric blood culture bottles, and specialized blood culture bottles. Now, for your serous fluid, it is universal containers. There is an addition of your 0.3% of 20% solution of your sodium citrate to the container prior to autoclaving. So this avoids difficulty in performing cell counts or centrifuging procedures with such fluid. Now your serous fluid kasi is a clear and watery fluid that can be found on your body cavities, like your pleural cavities, on your lungs, your peritoneal cavity on your abdomen, your pericardial cavity on your heart. So this container is used to collect these specific fluids. Now swab. Swabs suitable for taking specimen of exudates from the throat, nostril, ear, skin, wounds, and other accessible lesions consist of sterile pledgets of your absorbent material. So we have here your swabs for special purposes. We have your baby swabs that are designed for collecting specimens from your infants or small orifices. Your pernasal swab is used to collect specimen in your nasopharynx that is used widely during COVID-19. Your post-nasal swab is your posterior nasopharynx. Your laryngeal swab is used to obtain specimen on your laryngeal area to detect respiratory tract infections. And also some here is your high vaginal and cervical swab on your uh, vaginal canal or cervixes for gynecological and microbial tests. Your serum-coated swab is to diagnose your serum for a certain diagnosis. Okay. Now we have here on the part of your eye, you can see here we will going to differentiate your Stewart's and Amis medium. Now your Stewart's medium is to maintain where the viability of your microorganisms without promoting growth. And your Amis medium is preservation of the properties of the sample. I just want to share a lesson during my college is that during our special problem on microbiology, we use pepton broth as the uh, the portion where we put our samples. Now, during the process of staking method on the Petri plates, all our all our plates is nag-overgrowth. Now, we are not aware that the pepton broth gives nutrients to the bacteria that we have collected on special or on the place that we collected the samples. So may mga instances na ganun. So somehow, there are lapses on our side as students because we do not know the use of the pepton broth because we use pepton broth during our laboratory experiment to put the sample. So somehow, same same lang din yung ginawa namin during our special problems in microbio, but it gives so much problems or errors during the process of experimentation to get the specific bacteria that we want to know sa place na collection namin. So may mga ganong instances. So please aware please be aware of that things, especially doing your bacterial or your microbial activities. Now, go back to our topic, your eye, conjunctivital. The container used is your aerobic swab moistened with Stewart's or Amis medium. The collection is obtained from your superior and inferior tarsal conjunctiva and specimen of both eyes with separate swabs by rolling swabs over each conjunctiva. If the viral culture is requested, a second specimen is collected. So you can get on your superior and inferior tarsal conjunctiva. Now, the transport is within 24 hours, and for the viral culture placed in a viral transport media, and it should be delivered promptly to laboratory or refrigerated for a short time and then transport on a wet ice. Corneal scrapping. So, besides inoculation of your blood agar, chocolate agar, your 7H10 agar, and your thioglycolate broth. Now, on your blood agar, it is an enriched and differential medium that contains a sheep blood. During our college time, we use human blood. This is used to grow a wide range of your bacteria in order to observe your hemolytic activity. So, um, here kasi, kapag yung organisms is hemolytic, magiging white portion yung part na red. So, somehow, it is hemolytic bacteria, ganon. Now, your chocolate agar also enriched medium with lyse RBC. It also support the growth of your fastidious organisms like your Neisseria gonorrhea and your Haemophilus. Now, your 7H10 agar, this is a specialized medium to detect your Mycobacterium species. And your tayo, it's also a enriched liquid medium that supports your aerobic, anaerobic, and your facultative organisms by creating an oxygen gradient that will help them to grow. Now, the patient preparation is clinician should instill local anesthetic before collection. Collection is used sterilized platinum spatula or calcium algidate tip swab dip in sterile trypticase soya broth, and the transport is immediate. Next is your inner ear. Your container is your sterile screw cap tube or anaerobic transporter. Patient preparation is clean ear canals with mild soap solutions before puncture of the eardrum. Collection is aspirate materials behind drums with syringe or eardrum is intact. Use swab to collect materials from ruptured eardrum and the transport is immediate. The outer ear, the container that we'll be using is your aerobic swab moistened with Stewart's or Amis medium. Patient preparation is wipe away crust with sterile saline, and the collection is firmly rotate swab in an outer canal and transport is within 24 hours. Next, your respiratory tract. So collection of specimen in the case of your respiratory tract infection possesses a number of problems because there are enormous commensal flora that colonizes the tract. Now, on your respiratory tract, we know that we have your microflora that are basically there on your body. So, therefore, this specimen collection is very crucial, and especially in the case of your viral infection of your respiratory tract. One has to avoid contamination of the specimens, and your respiratory tract is divided into your first is your upper respiratory tract. It con the container that you will be using is your swab moistened with Stewart or Amis medium. The collection is for your oral swab. Remove the oral secretion or debris from the surface of lesion with swab and discard. Using the second swab, vigorously specimen the lesion, avoiding areas of your normal tissue. Your nasal swab, use swab moistened with sterile saline. Insert approximately 2 cm into the nares and rotate swab against nasal mucus. Your nasopharyngeal swab, it is to collect nasopharyngeal cells, all mucus as removed, and small flexible nasopharyngeal swab is inserted along the nasal septum to the posterior pharynx. Rotate slowly for 5 seconds against the mucosa several times, and then aspirate. Collect with plastic tube attached to a 10 ml syringe or suction catheters, and washing is obtained with a rubbing suction bulb by instilling or withdrawing 3 to 7 ml of sterile buffer saline. Next, your laryngeal swab. It is patient is made sit and hold the tongue fully protruded. And before use the swab is moistened with your sterile saline. With the help of the piece of gauze, pass the swab back through the mouth, rinse with midline and downwards over the epiglottis into larynx, where it should be induced reflex coughing that will expel your sputum onto swab. Withdraw the swab and replace it in the tube for delivery to the laboratory. Your throat swab, depress the tongue with a tongue depressor. Introduce the swab between the tonsillar pillars and behind the uvula without touching the lateral wall of your buccal cavity. Swab back and forth across the posterior pharynx, and exudates or membrane should be taken for specimen. And the transport is 24 hours. Now your next is your lower respiratory tract. You will use a sterile screw cap container. For example, your sputum. Ask the patient to brush teeth and then rinse or gorge with water before collection. Collection is early in the morning before eating, and make collection in a disposable wide-mouthed screw cap sterile plastic container about 100 ml in capacity. Now, on your uh, your CSF is you will going to use sterile scrap tube, and the process is your lumbar puncture in order to collect the CSF for examinations that will be collected by a trained physician. In during the procedures in getting your CSF with aseptic techniques in order to uh, remove other infections on your outer portions. Now, it should be disinfect your skin before aspirating specimen. Now, the trained physician will collect only 3 to 5 ml, and it will be labeled in sterile container, and the fluid to be collected at the rate of 4 to 5 drops per second. The transportation of this CSF is promptly in order to uh, avoid or delay the cause of the death of the delicate pathogens. Now, the preservation of your CSF is important when there is a delay in transportation of your specimen to laboratory. It should be kept in a room temperature and not in refrigerator. Now, we have your pleural, peritoneal, pericardial, and synovial fluid. You will going to use sterile screw cap tube or an aerobic transporter. The patient should aspirate with 2 iodine tincture that will disinfect the skin. The collection is percutaneous needle aspiration or surgery, and the transport is imaging. Now, next is your container, the blood. The container is your blood culture media set, aerobic and anaerobic bottle. The patient preparation is infect a very puncture site with 70% alcohol and disinfect such as betadine. Now, the collection is you need to select the veins from which blood is to be drawn and disinfect the venipuncture site. Allow it to dry and avoid touching and recontaminating the venipuncture site, and take this specimen of blood and put it immediately to the hole in the cap of the bottle. Now, it you will going to obtain percutaneous needle aspiration or surgery. The volume in adult will be 5 to 10 ml, and in children it's 1 to 5 ml. The transport is within 24 hours. Next is your gastrointestinal tract infections. You will going to use in your stool, you will going to use your clean leak proof container. The collection is passed directly in the sterile white mouth leak proof container with a tight fitting lid, passed into a clean dry bedpan and transfer into a sterile leak proof container with a tight fitting lid. And stool foe, ova, and parasite should be placed in preservative immediately after collection. Now, the transport is within 24 hours. Now, if there is a delay and when the weather is warm, collect the specimen in a container holding 6 ml buffered glycerol, saline, and transport medium. Now, in your rectal swab, you are going to use swab placed in enteric transport medium, and the collection is past the tip of the sterile swab approximately 1 inch beyond the anal sphincters, and carefully rotate the swab to sample the anal crypts and withdraw the swab, and place the swab in a transport medium, and the transport is within 24 hours. Next is your duodenal aspirates. This is a sample to be taken on your duodenum. And the container, sterile screw cap tube, patient preparation, collect in early morning before patient eats or gets out of the bed. And the collection is ask the patient to swallow a weighted gelatin capsule containing a tightly wound length of string, which is left protruding from the mouth and taped to the cheek, obtained via percutaneous needle aspiration or surgery. And the transport is imaging. Here is the sample of the gelatin type. Now, the UTI or the urinary tract infections, for the urine, you are going to use sterile screw cap container. When female, clean the area with soap and water, then rinse with water and hold the labia part. After several ml has passed, collect midstream. Same as the male, clean the glands with soap and water, rinse with water, retract the foreskin, or if you are circumcised, do not retract. And after several ml has passed, collect also the midstream. Now, after several ml has been passed, you need to collect the midstream in a urine container, and the transport is 24 hours. Next is your catheter specimen of urine. The container used is the sterile screw cap container. The patient preparation is clean urethral area and rinse. Collection is insert catheter into bladder, allow first 15 ml to pass, then collect the remainder, also a midstream. And transport is 24 hours. Next is your hair, nail, or skin scraping. You will also use your sterile screw cap top tube, and the nails or skin is wiped with 70% alcohol. And in the collection in your hair, collect hair with the intact shaft. Nails is send clippings of affected area, and skin is scrape screen at leading edge of the lesion, and the transport is 24 hours. Next is your abscess or your um, abscess. Now, your abscess, you can have it superficial. You are going to use anaerobic swab moistened with Stewart's or Amis medium. The patient preparation is wipe area with sterile saline or 70% alcohol, and the collection is swab along the leading edge of the wound, and the transport is 24 hours. Next, if it's deep abscess, the container is an aerobic transporter, and wipe the area with sterile saline or 70% alcohol. The collection is aspirate material from wall or exercise tissue, and the transport is within 24 hours. Here in your genital tract, in your female, your cervical swab, you will going to use swab moistened with Stewart's or Amis medium. The patient preparation is remove mucous membrane before collection of specimen. Collection is swab deep into endocervical canal and within 24 hours will be transported from the laboratory. And we have your urethral swab for females. We have your swab moistened with Stewart or Amis medium for the container. The patient will remove exudates from its urethral opening, and the collection is collect the discharge by massaging your urethra against pubic symphysis or insert flexible swab 2 to 4 centimeters into urethra and rotate swab for 2 seconds and collect at least 1 hour after patient has urinated, and the transport is 24 hours. For meals on the prostate portion, same, swab, moisten with Stewart Arts medium or sterile screw cap tube. Clean the glands with soap and water. Collection is collect secretion on swab or in tube, and the transport is 24 hours or immediate. Last is your urethra. Swab moisten with Stewart or Amis medium as a container. Collection is insert flexible swab 2 to 4 cm into the urethra and rotate for 2 seconds, or collect discharge or Gembec transport system. The transport is within 24 hours or within 2 hours. So this will be the references of our lesson for today. Thank you and God bless.